What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over some booster boxes, some Sword and Shield main series sets, going through some of these sets that I think are going to start seeing upticks and some that have already gone up. I guess to start off strong, we'll go with Astral Radiance. I'm sure you've seen the news. This week, Astral Radiance sold out at the Pokemon Center. Surprisingly, it was the first of the later 4 Sword and Shield sets to sell out. I was expecting Lost Origin or Brilliant Stars first, but it was Astral Radiance. Now, within the last week since selling out on Pokemon Center, Astral Radiance booster boxes have jumped up $20. So this is one of those sets, I think we're going to see similar gains like Fusion Strike. It's going to be one of those sets to buy now while it's low. I think it'll go higher. Right now, I'm going to say I don't think it's the strongest of that last quarter, last third of the Sword and Shield era. You got Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, and Silver Tempest. I think it's a debate between Silver Tempest and Astral Radiance for the worst set. Astral Radiance, right now it sees better value, but I think it's because it's a little more playable. Silver Tempest, it's the cheapest of the 4 booster boxes. I think it'll stay that way for a while. It seemed to be printed a lot. But Astral Radiance, it doesn't really hold a ton of value. The singles, you got your big hit being the Machamp V, which is only going for, $97. It's followed up by Starmie at about $40, and from there it just gets cheaper and cheaper. You do have that Cynthia with Garchomp in that top 10 spot. You also have Irida. You also have a few alt arts with the Dialga and Palkia, Sneasler, and Beedrill, and then a couple playable gold cards that, are only in the top 10 for the competitive scene, and I don't think they will be going forward. But yeah, Astral Radiance performing well. This last week it went up $20, like I said. I think it's going to kind of level out, but continue at a steady pace. I could see this going from, 165 now to about 200 by the end of the year. All right, let's jump back a little bit now. We're going to look at Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign, I'm surprised, honestly. This sold out quite a bit before Fusion Strike on the Pokemon Center, but Fusion Strike has steadily passed it, sitting at about $220 a box. Chilling Reign, it's up there still. It's at $196. It's steadily climbed over the last year, $140 this time last year. So it's gone up $55 in one calendar year. This was like the first Sword and Shield set with a lot of alt arts. We had Battle Styles, which, might be an honorable mention on this list. If you want Battle Styles, it's still cheap. I don't think it'll perform amazing over time, but it's going to go up eventually. I think if you want it, pick it up now. It's got the Tyranitar, the Empoleon, the Urshifus if that's your thing. But Chilling Reign, the first big alternate art set. It has so many alt arts. I opened a ton of this chasing the Galarian Moltres and gave up and ended up just buying it outright. Graded it at a PSA 10. I have like half of these alternate arts in the PSA 10 now, and I'm just going to pick up the last few. Still need the Blaziken, which has been steadily the best card in this set. Right now it's sitting at $197, which isn't at its 1-year high, but it's like steadily recovered from the dip it took about 6 months ago. Number 2, you got that Galarian Moltres, like I just mentioned, my personal favorite card from the Sword and Shield block. From there, you got the Shadow Rider and Ice Rider Calyrexes. You got that gold Snorlax in number 3. You have the other Galarian birds up there, Slowking, Rapidash, pretty much all alt arts, and that gold Snorlax in the top 10. Some cards that didn't make the top 10 but are still like worth quite a bit of money. You've got the Caitlyn full art, you've got the Tornadus alternate art. You also have the V alternate arts. It's pretty much just V maxes in the top 10. But you got the Ice Rider and the Shadow Rider Calyrex V alt arts down there as well. There's probably like 24 cards over $10. This is a great set, and I think at $197, $200 we'll say, I think this set still has a lot of potential. I don't think it's going to be, as good as Evolving Skies, even Fusion Strike. I think Fusion Strike will kind of be better because it's got Gengar, Espeon. The Pokemon are a little more iconic, whereas this set is focused more on that Sword and Shield DLC, the Crown Tundra. But nonetheless, this is a great set, and I'm still looking to pick some of it up. Okay, next up, we're going with Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars was the first set with the Trainer Gallery, which I think is going to be a very iconic part of Sword and Shield. This set to me, it checks almost all the boxes. It's got a good chase card in the Charizard alternate art. It's got the Trainer Gallery cards with the Evolutions. It's got Arceus. It's got some Rainbows, some other alt arts. I think all around, it's like a 9 out of 10 set. The booster box has been pretty steady at about $150, $160 for about 6 months now. It had somewhat of a dip where it went down to like $130, but immediately went right back up to $150 and has kind of been hovering in that $150, $160 ballpark. I'm thinking either Lost Origin or this will sell out next on Pokemon Center, and we're going to see immediate price gains. I picked up a few of these from Pokemon Center recently. Not the price I'd like to pay. You know, in Canadian, it was like $220 a box, which is ridiculous. This is a box that was really hard to find at LGS stores for a good price. You know, the only ones I've been able to find are, you know, 180, 250, 270. Even on release, this set was going for like 160 Canadian, 170 Canadian. So it's not really like I had the chance to get it at a good value. But what I paid for it is about the market price, so I'm not complaining too much there. It's a great set. Obviously, it's the Charizard set, but I think it is the best Charizard set we've had. I think it's better than Obsidian Flames. I think it's, definitely better than Darkness Ablaze or Champion's Path, any of that stuff. The alternate art in this set is better than all the alt arts that came in that UPC. I think it's great. The alt art I still think is a bit undervalued, to be honest. It's kind of ticked up a little bit, but I feel like this card should be worth at least $200. It's a hard pull and it's an awesome card. One day I think it'll get a little bit more respect because it dropped drastically after release. Even over the last year, it kind of dropped. It was sitting over $160. I mean, it was sitting at probably like over 200 a year and a half, 2 years ago. Dropped all the way down to $100. Slowly has been picking itself back up. I think it'll continue. You've got all the other Charizards in this set too. I'm kind of annoyed we didn't get a gold one. I think a gold Charizard V-Star would have been sick, just like we had the Lugia and the Giratina. But you got the Rainbow. You got Rainbow Charizard V-Star. Pretty cool. It's coming in at number 2. You got the Gold Ultra Ball. I mean, it's an Ultra Ball. A collector's not going to be too stoked to pull this, but it's great for playability. It's kind of a staple in a lot of the TCG decks. Having a gold one is going to bling it out, so this card will hold value probably indefinitely because this has been a card that's been in play basically forever in the TCG. You got some more alt arts in the top 10. You got the Arceus and the Lumineon. And then some of the trainer gallery cards as well, like the Umbreons and the Sylveons. I think this trainer gallery, I know there's an argument. Everyone seems to like Lost Origin the best. I think this is the best trainer gallery. It's got the Umbreons, it's got the Sylveons, it's got Eevee, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon. It's got the Mimikyu cards. It has a lot of really good stuff in it. So yeah, this set I think is a banger. I think it's undervalued, and I think it's going to start ticking up probably soon. By the end of the year, I feel like it'll be sold out for sure on Pokemon Center. And from there, it's going to tick up. So I'd pick it up before it's too late. Next up, I want to go with something a little bit newer. The Scarlet and Violet era has not been great. There hasn't really been a set that's like a home run yet. I know Temporal Forces people seem to be pretty keen on, but I think a lot of that is like manufactured hype. I think it's collectors forcing attention into Scarlet and Violet. We can't focus on Sword and Shield forever. We're going to have to move on eventually, especially if those prices keep going up. But Scarlet and Violet, the only set that I'm really like investing in, I'd say so far, would be 151, but we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about Paldea Evolved. Now, Paldea Evolved it's been pretty steady. It's stayed strong. The value of the boxes hasn't really gone up too much. We're sitting at $105, which is quite a bit compared to other Scarlet and Violet sets. I know SV Base and Obsidian Flames aren't worth this, but $105 I think is a great price. I think this will be, probably the best set we've had so far. I think we're going to start seeing something crazy towards the end of this year, early 2025 as well. My prediction is Mega Evolutions are coming back or something like that. They're going to have to do a remix or whatever because the SIR cards are sweet, but they're too easy to pull. The Ace Specs, a bright pink card, to me it's cool, but it's not super collectible. It's not super hard to pull. They need to figure something out. Either make SIRs tougher to pull, which they've been kind of working on with Temporal Forces, or introduce something that's like a tier up that's more difficult or something super cool. But Paldea Evolved, finally the Magikarp took over. Magikarp IR is sitting at number 1, the strongest IR out there for sure. It's $85. This thing is a beast. If you pull this, like, good on you. It's a great card to have. I think it's going to continue going up long term, maybe level for a bit, but $100 Magikarp one day, maybe. From there, you got the Iono SIR, which has fallen a bit. I think it might fall a little more. We'll have to see. This card is for collectors, but it's also very playable, so it's going to keep that price, I'd imagine. Probably dip a bit. The Iono, got one right here. The Iono Premium Tournament Collections came out recently. You know, I've talked about it in the past with the Iono milk carton, the Paldean Fates Iono coming out. There's a lot of them now. It could affect the price. We'll have to see over the next few weeks. But from there, you got the Iono full art at number 3. 2 of the top 3 are Ionos. Then you got some pretty cool illustration rares. You've got the Tyranitar in there. You've got the Raichu, which are both amazing cards. You have the gold Super Rod, which is kind of a staple as well. A lot of people are running Super Rod these days. You've got Chin Pao, another playable card, and Chi Yu. I think Chi Yu is probably one of the nicest looking cards out of that first block. I don't really care or have any attachment to it as a Pokemon, but I think it is a really nice artwork. Same with the Chin Pao. I pulled the Chin Pao. It looks great in person. The Tinkaton EX is also amazing. Really want to pull that. Same with the Boss's Orders. That's your top 10. You have plenty of other cards as well, like some other SIR trainers and SIRs and IRs of the 3 starters from the Gen 9. I don't think it's going to go up drastically anytime soon, but I think it is something that you want to pick up now. I'm picking up a few of them. It's kind of like one of the cheapest booster boxes that I see good potential in. So if you want it, pick it up sometime soon. I think it's going to have a good return long term. All right, and the last set, Lost Origin. You know, Lost Origin you can't really go wrong with right now. I'm personally surprised it's been so steady, but it's a fun set to open up. It's got some really cool cards. If you pull one of those Trainer Gallery Pikachus, you know, they're in the top 10. They're awesome cards. They look sweet. They're great to pull. The Giratina card is amazing. The Aerodactyl is also amazing. 2 of the best alt arts we had in that entire Sword and Shield block. Booster boxes are kind of steadily rising in price. Like I said with the other ones like Astral Radiance and Brilliant Stars, as soon as this goes out on Pokemon Center, we're going to see a massive price jump. I wouldn't be surprised if this booster box easily goes over 200 this year. I could see it in 225 by the end of the year for sure. Just in the last 6 months, this set has gone up $35 in value. Think it's going to continue. You know, it's a very strong set. When everyone talks about these Trainer Gallery sets, they're talking about Lost Origin. A lot of people kind of sleep on Brilliant Stars, but that's fine. If you like Lost Origin, no harm there. It's an amazing set. But that Giratina has stayed strong. A card, you know, I didn't really open a ton of Lost Origin. I opened enough. I never pulled any alternate arts. I pulled some of the Trainer Gallery cards, some good stuff, but the Giratina's just steadily been climbing, man. Like, it dipped a lot over that first year. We saw it sitting at a low of 233 like 4 months ago, but it's steadily climbing right back up. It's at 289. It's going to hit 300. You know, within the next month or two, I'd imagine. You also got the Aerodactyl. I covered it in a past video talking about some of the undervalued alternate arts. But this card, you know, it picked up, but it's kind of backed off a little bit. I think it's a good one to pick up. Honestly, I really want it. Aerodactyl's a sweet card, and like I said in that video, this is the best Aerodactyl card we've ever had and probably ever will get. So if you're a fan of Aerodactyl, I think it's going to be a staple in anyone's collection. Like I said, you got those 2 Pikachus in the top 10, the VMAX and the V. The regular Pikachu and the gold one aren't in the top 10. They're a lot easier to pull. And that gold card, you know, the black and gold cards people just aren't fans of. You've also got Rotom and Berserker alt arts in the top 10, and a few gold cards that are kind of TCG staples. You got the Giratina V-Star gold card. You got the Lost Vacuum and the Collapsed Stadium as well. You also have the Rainbow Giratina in there as well. Those cards, I think a lot of people are still playing like Lost Box Tina, but I think Giratina is just a mad popular Pokemon. People seem to like them. So this set has been very strong. I think it's going to stay strong. Like I said, my personal opinion, Brilliant Stars is like the highlight of that last bit of Sword and Shield. But I think, you know, fan choice is Lost Origin. I think a lot of people are picking up this set. A lot of people are ripping this set. And the chase is real. I'd say if you want it, pick it up sooner than later. It's going to go up easily another $25 this year, but I think it'll go up another $50. All right, guys, there you have it. 5 Pokemon card sets I think you should invest in April 2024. These are the sets I'm keeping my eyes on. I'm not picking up as much stuff these days, but if I am, it's these sets. You know, Evolving Skies too, that's a no-brainer. If you find it for retail, if you find the Evolving Skies collection boxes, scoop that. But booster boxes, I think these are the ones to pay attention to. Real quick, before the video ends, WrestleMania weekend, who you got, Roman or Cody? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.